fat puppy here. A little bit over 1,400 soldiers died on their last day in Vietnam. The day they were supposed to be leaving, they died. They were killed. Now, this story is not quite as shocking as that. This soldier here actually died in World War I. And I'm going to tell his story and a little bit of his family too, and the tragedy that was prevalent in his family. So the first thing I'm going to do is read this side of the tombstone to you. It says, First Sergeant Horace H. Mueller, Company 1 of the 1st Company of the 120th Infantry, 30th Division, buried in Flanders Field, American Cemetery. That looks like it says Boney to me, so that's what I'm going to read it as. Boney, Department of Aisne. I guess that's the proper pronunciation. I could be way off on that one. France. This young man lost his life in France, and we're going to discuss that. And now I'm going to read the front of the tombstone. First Sergeant Horace H. Mueller, born July 19th, 1894, killed October 10th, 1918 in the Battle of Somme Offensive. Horace Mueller grew up on 31 Haynesworth Street, or at 31 Haynesworth Street, I should say. I went looking, that's a residential neighborhood still. It's almost right downtown, but the house is not there. I don't know what happened to the house. Maybe it burnt down. I don't know. There's houses around it, but that particular house is not there. That house is associated with other tragedy that I will speak of shortly. So Mr. Mueller grew up the son of a German immigrant. His dad's name was J.J. Mueller, a harness maker. Now, he was I think the youngest of 8 or 9 kids. And he also seen 4 of his siblings die before him, young siblings. Don't know if you can see it because I can't see what's on the screen because of the glare of the sun. But right here in front of me are the markers of 4 children. They all died as little children. And then he had another sibling that died. Over there is his marker. There, John Joseph Mueller. That would be 1908. He was in his 20s when he died, but he still died 10 years before Horace died. Now, imagine, okay, so here's what's going on. There is talk of peace, and it is really ramping up. People are hopeful we will finally have peace. It's World War I. It's been a brutal war. A month before the Germans pulled out of the war, Miss Anna Mueller, his mom, gets notification that your son has died in battle. You could just imagine the heartbreak involved. This is heartbreak upon heartbreak because she had lost 5 children up to this point. This made the 6. Through different, I don't know how they died. I didn't look it up. I didn't even realize it till I got here and looked at these other tombstones. And see what happened was yesterday was Memorial Day. And I decided to take my motorcycle for a ride, find 2 veterans who died in war, and do their story. This is one of them. So Mr. Mueller, his dad, the German immigrant, unfortunately committed suicide when he was 10 years old. And his mom never remarried. So his mom had to raise what children were left by herself. Now, his dad was a harness maker. And according to newspaper accounts, he was a successful one until recent years. Well, I found where his business burnt down, or the building his business was in burnt down. And the insurance only covered half of his losses. I am sure this is probably what started him on his road to his suicide. Now, the newspapers are very explicit. It was almost, look here, they would print anything back then. And it was almost like reading an autopsy report. Now, I'm not going to go into details here, but in the backyard, he shot himself. The backyard of 31 Haynesworth Street. So, Miss Anna Mueller had raised what was left of her children. Horace joins the military. 1 month left before the war, or a major part of the war is over, he gets killed. Now this was 3 weeks after she received a letter saying, I'm doing fine, yes, these things, and he mentioned some things that were going on, they're going on, but I'm doing fine. So, you know, in her mind, he's doing good, and then next thing you know, she gets a letter saying that he'd been killed in battle. Mr. Mueller died a tragic death. He's buried over in France. Several of his siblings died before him. His dad committed suicide. And then finally, Mrs. Mueller died just a few years later at the age of 75. She died in 1928, about 10 years after he died. And as a veteran, I just want to say, Mr. Mueller, I salute you.
Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe.
And when you subscribe, there will be a bell that'll show up on the right-hand side of the screen. Hit that and you'll get notified every time I upload a video. Thank you.